Parliament from Ankole. They are complaining that you are giving cards and you are demobilizing in their region. Yes, yes. So, okay, can I ask you to stop? Okay, communicate to them. Communicate. Okay, listen. Okay, anyway, communicate to whoever you invited. Communicate to whoever you invited. We don't want to shame you. You were mobilized of any RM. Don't get involved in any MK party mobilization again. Stop it. Okay. Shera is not one of us. Roy Shera is not working with us, but is an NRM supporter. He can remain a guest, but is not going to be among the organizers of this event. So the worries you heard about Roy Shera, it doesn't represent our interest. Okay. He has been giving cards. We have not issued any card. So those cards, the people whom we gave, we invite them to come, but they are not part of us. Till when you say card signed by Toyota, or signed by Moses Sali, or signed by Balam, or signed by any of you, as we shall deliberate, please ignore it. But whoever he has given a card is invited to come. We shall issue with a better card. It's for mobilization, but he's not a member of us. Thank you.
Of the members that were requested to be part of the organization. Thank you so much for pointing out all those issues. One of the games that I've learned in life is, Honorable, you're very right that we should have put something on the table before and then you react to, but unfortunately the new era allows people to brainstorm equally, and I feel better now that whatever we had brainstormed is exactly what you personally have all put down. All these arguments, maybe the committee of 3-4 people have had together, meaning that we are on the same page. Only that no event in life has no challenges. That is the first thing. First and foremost, as an organizer personally, and as an artist, I truly, and as a mobilizer of the NRM, I also feel I cannot defend the 14th at that cost, because I cannot go back down to support any member of parliament or straight look in Muhoozi's eyes, because I don't have that answer. Now the next thing is, how do we support? Definitely we are going to move into moving that date, but how do we fully support the missing gap of the losses that have been incurred the 2 times, so that that team can be positive into moving, most especially after when they leave here to go to the next meeting. That, I think, can help to sort that question. The other question is, yes, we have less time, but I want to request that I also am of the view of regions. Though, if there was a way we could minimize, maybe not the 5, but to the 3. Because that also calls for, remember, Geno does not, he's not going around collecting money from people. That is number 1. But at the same time, I also agree the members of parliament have to protect their electorate. One of my biggest fear is to have video clips being made in the evening after the function, saying that people are stuck here, we didn't eat food, they have traveled from so many places. Just 1 or 2 or 3 clips out of 40,000 people can become a problem, and it can be a fuel for the opposition, and it can target us directly, and we wouldn't defend that. So indeed, that one gives us an opportunity that the organizing committee has been now correct on what we were thinking about. We, yes, would like to say that, Mr. Chairman, we really, really need to think about the regional aspect. And thirdly, yes, we had some members who had the idea before to organize, and they had some groups of people who had moved in some districts. You've had some members of parliament, already some of them know they're involved in some of their activities. Some don't have a clue of what is happening in their regions. But now we have an idea that can Mr. Chairman, an idea that I think we can pick on from the Honorable Minister. We could maybe have a team, Honorable Member of Parliament, sorry. Future in the making. Okay. Maybe we could pick on that, and quickly we have a quicker meeting, because we had thought of having a meeting in Kiruva as the earlier before anything. But of course that is out. So maybe we could have that mini meeting and make that decision. The reason
now, because of the program that has been set, we agree that some of us cannot attend because Parliament will be sitting. That is the position. Now, about 26, I want to appreciate the idea that has been floated. One, in fact, I was one of those who are saying this birthday thing maybe is overstaying and is becoming monotonous and losing meaning. So coming up with such a thing is a very good idea. And I want to thank you as team chairman. Good idea, why? We want to look at things that touch our people. Things that when General MK appears and is making an intervention, the youth, the population will appreciate. What happened last time, we need to reflect on what went wrong. What happened here, the marathon that happened, we had feedback. People were saying, so what? The marathon happened, so what? Was there any money that was collected to be taken to maybe the Cancer Institute or help the needy? So we need to be conscious of how we act. And therefore, when we say we are going to do something, we should look at the impact, not even in the medium term, in the short term and the medium term, but strategically, how is it going to impact our people? Now, considering that day, and saying that Mbarara City is going to host, how many pitches can accommodate, is it 30 what teams? That is a concern. Maybe we need to see how we identify the pitches within the outskirts of the Mbarara City. It could be Rwampara, Isinjiro, Mbarara district, which is Kashari, in the nearby Shema, so that we finalize, but it must be at least 2 days. We have a climax of the winning team, of the teams that are on semis and finals. Apparently they have mentioned football only, and I'm discussing depending on the fact that it is only football. But indeed it is important that we are holistic in sports. If we are not ready for the rest of the sports, being marathon, being short release and athletics, we can promise that it will be done in the near future. But it is important to look at the holistic sport, because we've seen many of our players come back to Uganda with medals, like the netballers. We've seen athletes come with the medals, and that is important that we don't stagnate ourselves around football alone. But also, Team Chairman, it is important that we observe that there is a need for pitches, and therefore that should be on the agenda of this task, of this team. That how many pitches can we, as Team MK, create in different districts so that it is seen as an impact, where our sports guys can always play and so on. But on that day, I want to conclude, because other colleagues would want to submit, that let's endeavor to make it at least 2 days. We climax in different pitches that we can identify around the Mbarara City, and then the final day hosts the semis and finals. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Today, that we are able to meet here as Western representatives and myself. Some I know them, others I don't know them, but it's an opportunity to know each other. It's also good for Lake Westerners to interact. Before we go for the function, but it's very important also. It's it's also another opportunity that I may not take it for granted. I thank you for coming. Myself, Toyota, Bebe Cool, and Mr. Baram Bargahara, who were appointed by General MK to coordinate the Western region for the sports and the cultural gala. And he mentioned the date. So when we were appointed to do that, the first thing we thought about to deal with the leaders, first of all. Without leaders, because we are also politicians, though we are not representing anybody, but somehow we are politicians in our homes. We present our homes politically. So we know the protocol of politics, or how to deal with people. You must deal with leaders. So the first thing we decided to meet the leaders first before we go to their areas. So that's the reason we called you, so that we share what we are tasked to do. It's about sports and the cultural talents. General MK is a man who loves sports, and he's trying to see how we can develop, because sports, actually like football, if you, I know you read the internet and what, right today, Europe, actually let's say maybe England, the most, like we have coffee, something that brings a lot of money. It's in trillions. It's football. A nation can depend on football alone. Actually, even Nigeria, they have more than 1,000 professional footballers, and they bring a lot of money in their country. So, but when people talk about sports, we think that it's this normal, but we must think ahead and how we develop it to another level of surviving on football, actually. The nation can survive, even our families. So General MK is into sports, seriously. So as leaders, we need to focus on it and see how we can develop it. Not to this local level of playing. You find we have teams, Kataka team. Everywhere you find there is a team Kataka. Actually, Dr. Tahigwa, he has a team in Rukunjiri. It's called Kataka. So we must think about it and how we develop. So we appointed me and my two brothers to coordinate and have that function of where we are calling upon leaders to bring your clubs or form teams for the districts or counties. I don't know how we shall handle. We have more than 30 districts in Western Uganda, and we want to all to participate. How we shall do it, we are going to discuss about it here. I want you to be free. We discuss how we shall manage more than 30 teams in one day. That's the question. That's why we call it, because you have teams. I know every politician must go through sports. You find the team casual at the back. When you're going, everybody's putting on team casual. That means he belongs somewhere. He has a club. That person that putting on a T-shirt. So I know you have teams. We are just here to brainstorm how we can conduct 36 or 40 teams in one day, and we get a winner. So we are going to have a lot of things on that very day. Whoever has a talent, let him come out. You will coordinate with your people. You know people there culturally. They are singers, they are with talents, different talents, so long as it's in that area, so that we promote our generation. So that's the reason we shall have a party as well. As we celebrate, we shall have a party, we shall welcome our general, because that is his region. We know he's for the whole country, but still, everybody has where he belongs, where he originated. So we want to have a function, entertainment, sports, and the other activity. It's a party, like things that go with. Yeah, actually there is a motor rally on that day, motorsport. There are people with that talent. They are going to show us their talents as well through motorsports. It's also a sport. So I want us to share how we can conduct that activity or activities in one day. There are 5 regions, like Honorable Basil said, and we want to have them in Mbarara City, same day. We have only 15 days. So that is something to share. But we want to deal with you guys, to work together, and we see how we can move together and how we can make it colorful on that day. Thank you so much. You're free to discuss ideas. We want to share ideas.
A round of applause.
As a follower. Big follow-up. So members of parliament have great asset, and some of us were ready to support the move. One, there are very many activities in our regions of now. As in Toroko, very many people are doing trainings. Each sub-county. So how many teams are we going to have from each district? Because, Chairman, we must do something that will not come back to us. People are very funny. You get all those teams, take them to Mbarara. Same day, even some of them who will fail even to play. Only playing, even if they go there, they fail to play. That is another thing. We don't want something that will again spoil our future vision that we have. So for me, I wanted to know, these people who are doing these things in our districts, even without our knowledge, what is the chain of command? Who is commanding these people? Some of us, we are watching, but there are some groups in our villages, in our constituencies, that are mobilizing. They end up mobilizing, it will become an issue. So for me, I feel that we should really begin planning. Each district we have one team, so that we help in selection of that one team that will come to Mbarara. Because all people want to come, but we shall guide them, tell them that we need one team from Muntoroko, one team from Bundubujo or Kasese, like in my region, or Fort Potro. That's very, very critical, and we should really have it today. And on sports, we should only look at one activity, because, Chair, if you're saying that we are going to have that party, at the same time people are playing, when will they finish with those games? Imagine the same day, all those teams playing at the same time. We have to have a party. We must welcome our general. I think something might be big. At the end of the day, it blows out of proportion. Maybe if we can say each region should bring a good team for us to have time. Because if there are 5 regions and each region brings at least, they agree and bring a team. Because if there are 5 teams playing, how many minutes are those? 90, those are how many hours? And we must welcome the general. All the speeches have to go on. I think that's already another issue that I wanted us to discuss. And the
Renduru, woman member of parliament for Tulhura district. It is really unfortunate. I want you to feel what we are feeling as a district. If we postpone this function, this will be the 3rd time postponing the function. Those who have been attending our meetings, it's not easy, but anyway, we shall plan more. Honorable Kangwaja, you will be a witness. Even Mr. Baram, even the chairperson. This time when we were trying to change the function from 5th, it costed us as leaders And it is the similar thing that affected us. The same time MK was going to come, the same time Mama was coming. So we could not have two security teams in the same place. We had to postpone the function. And look at these people from the village. The other time they felt it. Now we talk about it. They will really be demoralized. So it's not easy. Let's not take it as something simple. When they mentioned that 14 is a budget day, I almost shrinked in the chair that I had sat on. It's not easy at all. So we planned 14th without knowing the budget day. And remember, MK himself has a program. You can't say that we now want 20th or 25th. He has to again look into his program and fix our date again. So it's not as easy as you take it. You will have to pray for us. We are going for a meeting right now. We want the team of chairman and your colleague and Baram to come and join us in the other meeting, and all of you. We convince the rest and put a date when the MK can fix us in his program. 2, on the issue of 26. 26, mainly what we need is big number. So if we want it organized, we must involve the local leaders, the district chairpersons. We need to involve the district chairpersons. We need to involve the chairpersons LOC series because they have to own the project. But if we don't involve them, we might find it very difficult. So we need to involve all leaders up to LOC1. Before we look at this math we are talking about of the teams and what, we must have those that we account on, that like chairpersons LOC1s, like chairpersons LOC3s, like women leaders, such that we have that number that we are expecting. But colleagues, I thank you, but pray for us such that we get a better day. Thank you.
Why Chiruhura had prepared a birthday bash even before the Entebbe one, but we were not considered. On their own, they prepared and they wanted to invite their son. And they put a date of 5th of May. Then later on, other districts also came with their requests. So General MK himself tweeted and pushed the one of Chiruhura to 14th and Mbarara on 26th. Are we clear on that? So really, it's not that Chiruhura is being singled out to nothing. I thought that was, but then as Chiruhura, even when we prepared, we thought the neighboring districts would help us, would celebrate with us. So we invited Ibanda, we invited Kazo, we invited Kijegwa on the other side, we invited Isinjuro, just to celebrate with us. At that time, we had not known of the big fete of the 26th for the region. I think you are clear with us on that. We did not. I told you we jumped.
Why did you jump Mbarara and invite the other people?
We invited Mbarara as well. By the way, Isinjiro borders, excuse me, members have no idea, Chairman, that Isinjiro borders Chiruhura. Isinjiro actually borders Chiruhura from the Kachera side.
Kachera is Mbarara.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, I thought I would clarify that, how Chiruhura gets a date and then the 26th. The issue is that Chiruhura was supposed to celebrate on the 5th as Chiruhura alone and had invited the neighboring district to celebrate with them. In fact, when the issue of birthday was relegated, we called ours, excuse us, we called ours homecoming. and we have a tournament of the homecoming. We're welcoming our son. We love him. We want to give him presents. We want to show him love. We want to celebrate. We realize that all that time he has been serving all away without coming home. So ours is homecoming. So when he tweeted, he pushed ours to 14th, but also appointed 26 for the regional one. So for us, members, our day is the 14th. My colleagues and I, those 3 who are not here, we are in, whether we will be away, we cannot push it further. I beg that you understand us. We'll have to be there with our people celebrating. We'll request you that you join us. In fact, Mr. Chairman, after a few minutes.
Number 1. MK.